Raw on May 4th felt like WWE throwing gasoline on every Backlash story at once to just catch fire for everyone. Some of it worked, some of it felt a bit messy, but three big moments actually moved the needle heading into the PLE and future events afterwards. We are gonna go over my personal top 3 moments on Raw, so let's get into it. Welcome to the Tea Dropped. Strong brew, no soft behavior. We are going over the top 3 Raw moments for Arrow. Without further ado, let's get to it. We have at number 3, Sol Ruka being crashed by Becky Lynch. Let's start with Sol Ruka because this was a strong main roster statement. Adam Pearce is in the ring for Sol's official Raw contract signing. They showed the NXT video package. Pearce introduces her. The crowd gives her the love. And it feels like one of those clean, welcome to the main roster moments. But unfortunately, Becky Lynch shows up. Because of course she does. Becky hijacks the segment, complains about Pearce, complains about EO, makes it about herself, and Sol Ruka immediately shuts her down. Tell her it's not about you. Not everything's about her. The line is important because it instantly frames Sol as someone who is not coming to Raw to be polite. She is not standing there like a rookie just happy to be here in the room. She knows who Becky is. She respects what Becky has accomplished, but she is not intimidated by her. Then Sol calls Becky a rude, big-headed biatch, and says it is not just her saying it, so I guess the whole locker room thinks the same way about her. That got the reaction it needed. Becky tried to slap Sol, but it accidentally decks Adam Pearce instead. Pearce storms off, and Sol hits the Soul Snatcher on Becky to close the segment. Now, she made a little boo-boo, but you won't know anymore because WWE edited that crap out real quickly on the replay video. So unless you were a person that clipped the video in its original form, you're probably never going to see again. And then those people that hold it, just know you're probably going to get copyrighted. Hey. Anyway, this is how you give a new call-up a moment. Was the Snow Snatcher perfectly clean? No, of course, we already know. Did it still do its job, though? Of course. Now, Sol Ruka made Becky Lynch look bad on week 2 on the main roster for her. That's important. It's important because it gives Becky accidentally hitting Pearce might be the accident that gets that women's intercontinental title booked because he's probably just pissed and wants to do revenge, as Pearce always does sometimes. So Sol Ruka at this point is going up in the ceiling. She has the ceiling at this point. WWE just has to avoid overthinking her. Now, did Sol Ruka already feel like a future star here, or does WWE need to slow down the Becky Sol tension? Let me know in the comments. We move on to moment 2, and it's a two-parter because moment 2 is really more about the control chaos that happened in Raw. The first one being Oba Femi. Oba walks out, does his Oba challenge, and he's calling out his first challenger. Who's going to be the one that challenges Oba Femi in his challenge thing, open challenge? And the Alpha Academy answers. At first, you'd think it's Tozawa. And I'm like, oh, so Tozawa is the next one to go because they want to like nix him off the TV by having Oba retire, like destroying him. But instead, you find out it's Otis that steps up. Now, credit to Otis. He got to show a little power early. The shoulder blocks were evenly matched for a second, and you could feel the crowd wondering if Otis might actually make Oba work. Then Oba hits the running uppercut, tosses Otis across the freaking ring, which was amazing, by the way, lifts him into position, and ends it with a fall from grace. The fact that he was able to do it, freaking amazing. It was a quick, clean, and dominant fashion, as always, when it comes to Oba Femi. That's exactly what this open challenge is going to be right now. And it's probably what's needed for Oba until they figure out what's next for him. Oba Femi does not need long matches yet. He needs to have a body count of destruction. The formula is going to be simple when it comes to Oba Femi. Someone steps up, Oba absorbs the challenge, Oba destroys them, the legend grows. That is going to be what works. But Raw also had, as another dominant fashion, besides the Oba Femi one, is the Seth Rollins Brock Braun Breaker chaos happening around about the same level of energy. You had during the match, you had Joe Henry versus Austin Theory ending in a DQ. And it's after Logan Paul interferes, the 6-man brawl. Then there's a 6-man brawl that breaks out, and then Braun Breaker hits another spear on Seth Rollins somewhere around there. For the second time in one night, by the way, because they did it at the beginning of the night, with an accidental assist from Montez Ford happening as well. At this point, I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely not a subtle booking going on. It's probably WWE screaming to you saying Braun Breaker is not waiting his turn. And honestly, that is what Braun should be. He should feel like the future kicking the door open, and we'll see. But when it comes to both of these scenarios that happened that night, Femi's open challenge is building the monster credibility the right way, while Braun Breaker is getting 2 spears on Seth Rollins in one episode feels like a statement that he's making. Raw's world title scene is going to start heating up because the younger monsters that are growing are not asking permission anymore. They're demanding, acknowledge me. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Who feels more dangerous right now? Is it Femi or Braun Breaker? You let me know in the comments. And moment number 1 for Monday Night Raw is Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns, with this ending with Jacob Fatu putting Roman through a table. That became the image of the night. Couldn't find one, but that's the image of the night. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu contract signing for Backlash. And it ended exactly how it needed to end, with violence. Roman comes out. He's the one who, he puts the ones up in the sky. Omaha acknowledges him, and Roman reminds Jacob who he is. 12 years at the top. The tribal chief, the man who brought Solo and Jacob into this world. The man who believes respect is owed to him because he built the table everyone else is eating from. But Jacob Fatu is not there to acknowledge Roman. Jacob says it is him against the world. He says he has no choice but to take Roman out. He says he is doing this for his household. It's an important line because Roman talks about the whole family. Jacob talks about his household, though. That is the difference between the two. Roman sees himself as the provider for the entire bloodline, and Jacob sees Roman as someone who controlled the family while people like him had to fight for scraps. Then the fight breaks out. Jacob tries the Tonga death grip. Roman punches away. Pierce tries to separate him. It doesn't work, really. And then Jacob Fatu puts Roman Reigns through the table. That is the final image heading into Backlash from Monday Night Raw. Roman gets laid out. Jacob stands tall. The contract was signed, though, regardless, out of all that, and the match became official. And they sold Backlash, at least for this match. This is the Usos versus Usos at its darkest. Roman built the bloodline, and now one of its most dangerous pieces of that bloodline is trying to dismantle him. Jacob Fatu did not need a long speech. The table said everything. That is the kind of go-home angle that makes a match feel necessary. Did the whole show work? No, but at least this segment did. Raw leaned into the chaos this week. No women's match on a 2 freaking hour show, which is crazy. They had some screwy finishes, some angles stacking. A lot was happening at once, but here is an important difference when it comes to this Raw. Chaos with purpose can work. So Ruka standing up to Becky Lynch had a purpose. Femi destroying Otis had a purpose. Braun Breaker spearing Seth Rollins again had purpose. Jacob Fatu putting Roman Reigns through a table absolutely had purpose. That is the line WWE has to walk, but they have to do it throughout the whole show. Because control chaos on a go-home show can sell a PLE even more efficiently. Just for chaos' sake just makes the show feel like a traffic accident with, I guess, entrance music. But for this week, even though the show was okay, it was mid, the top 3 moments all moved something forward, at least storytelling, and maybe it'll make the coming weeks better. We had Ruka getting credibility. We had Femi getting monster momentum. Braun Breaker's looking dangerous, more dangerous as ever, and Jacob Fatu made Roman Reigns look vulnerable. That is how you get people interested in Backlash and in future storylines going forward. So to close it off, I'm going to ask you, what was your Raw moment of the night? Soul snatching Becky, Oba tossing Otis, Braun folding on Seth, or Jacob Fatu putting Roman through the table, or something else I didn't mention. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, if the T hit right, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.